Well, of course, there's my two guests holding up my new best-selling book, American Conspiracies. And I've got a question now. That book has been on the New York Times top 10 bestseller list now for 4 weeks. Wait, and yet there hasn't been one mainstream review of that book. Why do you think the mainstream media will not do a proper review of my book?
Let me do one right now. Let me just read it real quick. I did Evelyn Wood. Hang on.
Well, you don't have to do that. But why wouldn't they do a review of this book that it's obviously popular, it's selling like crazy, they review every other book, and yet not one mainstream media outlet has reviewed that book yet?
Because that's the problem, Jesse. We're so polarized these days. You know, you've come on my show, you've talked about 9/11. A lot of people have questions about 9/11. That doesn't mean everybody's a kook about it. They have questions, and they feel the 9/11, commission was a whitewash.
I think maybe the media is too busy following Sarah Palin around the country and trying to figure out her next move, and that's why they're just too busy for this.
Oh, I doubt that.
I'm kidding.
Congressman Paul, why do you think they won't review my book?
Okay. I'm good.
Oh, I am not sure, but if you figure it out, I want to know, and then maybe I can get a review of the Revolution, a manifesto, and then we could all be happy.
They wouldn't review I don't know. I think they wouldn't review your book either?
Well, if it works out, maybe I missed it or something, but I don't remember seeing any significant reviews of it. No, I think everybody's biased. If you have a website or you have a radio talk show, you're biased because you have opinions. There's nothing wrong with that. So when people are in the business of reviewing books, they're very biased, and they reveal that. They feel no obligation to give the people that they disagree with any time. So that to me is sort of accepted. I think they're just biased, but I don't strongly criticize them for them because I'm very biased with my views. I'm very strong on my views, and I try to do it in a more diplomatic method than exclusion. But they just exclude people that they think will stir up too much controversy.
Rod, any opinion why they won't review my book?
Well, I think you raise questions that are not considered by the elites as mainstream. This has been, frankly, among the reasons why you've been so successful, that you have an ability to go directly to the people. You obviously are successful at that. And by the way, congratulations on being in the top 10 a bestseller list. But no, I think there are elites who sort of make these decisions in some of the usual places. And they've made a decision somewhere along the way that what you have to say is not something that they want to spend any time talking about or, frankly, give you a forum. And it's great to see that you can go over their heads directly to the people, and people trust you and believe you, and they're buying your book. And so congratulations.
Well, thank you, Rod.
Let me take 1 second to say I've read the book because you're coming on my radio show. It's a great book. You were a much better governor than Sarah Palin and a much better wrestler than Roddy Piper. I just want to go on record, Governor.
Or Jake the Snake.
I don't know about all that.
Were you as good as Goldberg, Jesse?
What's that?
Were you as good a wrestler as Goldberg?
I never wrestled Goldberg. We're kind of a different time. We're a different generation because by the time Goldberg came along, I had already retired. So I guess it's kind of like looking at Babe Ruth and Hank Aaron and trying to compare who would be better. I don't know. Anyway, Tiger Woods had another great day on the golf course.
Governor, you said that what he does best is on the golf course. That's where he plays the best. I'm not sure that that's so true anymore. It seems like he plays other things much better.
But isn't it his private business?
But Jesse, honestly, he just participated in a commercial with Nike about his private business. If he wants to keep it private, then keep it private.
Well, that's because the media is telling him he has to do.
No, Nike is, and he doesn't have to do it if he doesn't want to. But look, coming out and saying this is my private life and then filming a commercial that's supposed to remind us all about your private life just to make more money? I mean, come on.
I mean, Jesse, come on.
I feel no pity for the guy.
But this was not smart. You leave phone messages on people's machines. It's like, hi, beep, it's Tiger. Woods, the famous golfer.
I understand
he did it in a parking lot at Perkins.
I understand all that, but still, to me, journalism today is so pathetic out there. All they care about is trying to take people down no matter what it is. And again, these are private life issues. Private life issues. Rod, how do you feel about it?
Well, I tend to agree mostly with you, Jesse. I don't, like you, I don't condone it, and obviously he's done wrong, but the wrong he's done is to his wife and to his children, to his family, and you're right, the media sees that, and they like it. They think this is great news. Now we've got a major scandal with a major superstar, and we can ride this for weeks and for months, and that's exactly what's happened here, and it is, I think, more of a commentary on today's modern media and the business of modern media and the trivialization of issues. When you have so many serious issues across the world and across our country, Tiger Woods and his personal relationships with his wife and others, I don't believe is that critical or important. It is between the two of them, and he's wrong to do what he did, but it is a private situation, and so I mostly agree with what you say, Jesse.
Congressman Paul, your opinion.
Well, I think his nightmare probably is over, especially with the public. I mean, as long as he can sell shoes, I think that'll be okay. But, you know, his personal, private nightmares on how he feels about himself, I don't think he'll know whether that's over yet or not, and I don't think that's any of our business. But that's probably the only nightmare that really counts. The other is just sort of the gossipy stuff that media people like to dwell on. But, you know, it's the kind of stories that when I hear about them and see people dwelling on them, I just turn it off because I have no control over it and I don't want to deal with it. But,
well, you know,
I think his public nightmare is over.
You know what I find interesting real quick? Look at the media. We spent a year or two ago 1 month on the death of Anna Nicole Smith. Give me a break. A Civil War history lesson when we come back. Thank you, Anderson. You know, Congressman Bart Stupak resigns now. Was it pressure from the Tea Party that made the man resign?
Yeah, no question. I mean, the Tea Party took out over $200,000 worth of ads and spending and put it up against Bart Stupak.
Is that a good idea?
Tremendous pressure. Yeah, I mean, I think it is. Look, the Tea Party movement is grassroots. They're anti-establishment.
They're not grassroots.
They're absolutely
They're getting
grassroots.
financed with Dick Armey and all them.
They're
People follow it. There's no grassroots.
Well, you have to pick one or the other. Are they an unorganized grassroots operation, or are they this highly sophisticated, functioning, well-oiled machine? I mean, which one is it?
They're
at the end of the day,
and like you said, they're a Dick Armey.
At the end of the day, they're going to cause trouble for Democrats and Republicans. Right now, the Tea Party is so fragmented. You have 7 different kinds of Tea Parties in one congressional district that are going after some Republican candidate. I mean, this isn't some Republican movement that's just being funded by Dick Armey. It's not, and I'm telling you though, it's going to take out some Republicans too.
Why didn't it happen during George Bush then, when they were violating the 4th Amendment to the Constitution, suspending habeas corpus? Where was their big constitutional protest at that time?
Because we've never been in more dire straits than we are now.
Oh, come on. George Bush, it was way worse.
Quadrupled the deficit. We are on an unsustainable course.
Bush puts us in 2 wars and puts it on the credit card.
And Obama tripled that.
And Congressman Paul, your opinion on the Tea Party?
Well, I think it's totally disorganized, but they're unified by one issue. They're sick and tired of what's happening, and I think it's very diverse. But I think what the problem is why we're at a stalemate, is the country's broke and nobody wants to admit it. They don't act like they understand anything about arithmetic or financing in Washington because they don't stop the spending. If they knew how serious the spending problem is, they would quit spending. They wouldn't continue to spend both domestically and internationally because it won't work. But everybody still wants stuff. You know, everybody has a special interest. They're not cutting anything. So therefore, the people are unhappy. Some people are unhappy because they're not getting what they want. These same people out here screaming and hollering about Congress, they're all for, you know, getting their programs done. They're not saying, oh, well, we'll cut my program. So I think we're at an impasse because it's more an economic issue, because we're facing a bankruptcy and the people don't know what to do, and the problem is not all that complicated. You just quit spending. You quit spending, you balance the budget, and get the government out of our way and trust freedom to work, because free people do know how to take care of themselves. Believe it or not, they're capable of doing it. But as long as we assume that the government's going to give us everything, you can't work with a bankrupt Social Security and a Medicaid and a Medicare system. And then you wonder what's wrong. That's what's wrong. We're bankrupt and we won't admit it.
Well, I'm sorry, but Governor, I think the reason that he resigned is someone yelled "baby killer" at him, and that was a Republican on the House floor, not a Tea Partier, an elected representative.
Thank you. To clarify, Representative Stupek announced today he's not running for re-election, but he will serve out the rest of his term when we come back. Rod's already lost his day job, and now he just got fired by Donald Trump. What happened, Rod? We'll ask when we come back.